Yeah, so Francisco Rodriguez didn't even know he failed the test. Yeah, so we got Rodriguez saying he didn't even know he failed the test until today. So you got a lot of people who need to be making some phone calls right now. He's saying he hasn't heard from anybody. I don't think that's him. Yeah, that's not the same guy. Trying to find the statement I had earlier. Might not be able to find it though. Yeah, this is bad, man. See if I can find the statement I seen earlier. I haven't had too many reactions to it yet. Oh, here it goes. Why I didn't see this earlier. Uh, Let me see. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, man, I don't know. They're gonna end up stripping that belt though. No way they're gonna let him keep that belt. That's definitely not gonna happen. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. I'll tell y'all what this says right here. He says on social media less than 24 hours ago. He said, I seen the reports on social media networks, well, social networks, publishing that my doping test came out positive. I can only say that no one has officially notified me, and it is a unfortunate surprise. This dude said he didn't even know about the test until he seen it on social media. So he hasn't been notified by anybody about the test. That's the craziest thing I heard out of this whole, well, out of both situations. I thought the other situation was getting crazier, but I think this one is keeping the lead right now. So he fought when? When did he fight? He fought June 21st, and he's just now finding out that he failed drug test. That don't sound right. So this guy fought June 21st, and he's just now finding out that he failed a drug test, and he has a belt. Man, that's hard for me to believe. Wow. So what is he? That's crazy. So he fought June 21st. He just found out about the drug test. Obviously, he's saying that he's clean. He said, "I am a clean boxer who has worked all my life to achieve my dream of winning this championship, and I am sure that I am innocent. And I asked the WBC to address the issue to ultimate consequences." And then Eddie Hearn with Matchroom, which is Eddie Hearn's promotional team, made an announcement that VADA informed Matchroom, the WBC, and British Boxing Control Board that Francisco Rodriguez yielded an adverse analytical results. You know, I know what that means as far as that, but yeah, so he failed. But yeah, so he's saying he just found out yesterday or today. I mean, well, yesterday technically now, but less than 24 hours ago. That doesn't mean anything to me if he found out recently, but it does mean a lot when you look at things. It's like, okay, why did it take so long for him to find out, and why did he find out? Why did everybody on social media find out first? Like, what is going to be his consequences? Should have been talking about taking a belt from him or something first. I mean, the only reason I think it's a huge every situation is a big deal. But I'm gonna tell you why this situation is worse than others. I will say this because I usually don't question certain fights when they happen because I feel like Rodriguez had a good chance at winning the fight, but the way he just beat this guy, it was just unnatural. If you really go back and look at the fight, just look at everything, like look at these guys' track records, resumes, statuses. I know that doesn't mean much in boxing, but the way he beat you five in that last fight, bro. I mean, he almost sent that man to the hospital. He probably did send him to the hospital. Yeah, that's the worst part about it. And this is a guy who's 32 and I think has like 8 or 9 fights, but he's fighting all top guys, champions. Can't be taking fights like this. Like, this the last guy that needs to be in fights like this. Like, other guys are 24, 25, 26. They don't need to either, but they have years where it could be like, okay, let's see if you can bounce back. But this guy's like towards the end. For him to be taking fight, and he's taking hard fights back to back. Yeah, this is a serious situation. And I felt like he was the best talent in the UK. I couldn't say fighter because the track record is not that long. But as far as talent, felt like he was the best talent so far. And to get washed like that, like man, the dude got beat like he's never won a fight in his life. I was like, yeah, there's something weird about this. I'm talking about Rodriguez looked like the best fighter on earth. He wasn't trash, but he's definitely not. Bro, dude he looked better than Van Rodriguez. Like if you go back and look at that fight, like the fight was so good, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But he looked like he was Van Rodriguez or something. Yeah, even Van Rodriguez would have had trouble fighting that dude that night. That's how good he was. So yeah, that's why it's a big deal. But for him to say, yeah, I didn't know I even tested positive until I seen it on the internet. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's gonna be a lot of stuff happening. It's gonna definitely be a no contest. It's gonna definitely be a I don't know, man. Beating a gold medalist like this, a guy who's undefeated, who was on a roll. I'm talking about, man, he beat you five bad, man. I don't know if everybody went back and seen that fight, but I think that was the first time your five got dropped in his career. That was the crazy part, man. Your five got dropped in the 12th round. Never got dropped before, as far as I know. Has your five got dropped before? Yeah, man. Dude never got dropped, bro. Never got dropped. He almost got stopped. Yeah, he almost got stopped. So yeah, they're gonna have a lot of it's gonna be a lot of backlash in this situation. That's why now what's crazy is what a lot of people not paying attention to. If a guy tests positive in uh in these fights, these aren't your regular fights where you're just fighting journeymen. You fighting guys who got real careers, who got millions of dollars of investments in their careers. You going in there testing dirty. That's gonna be bad business. And then also you can have something worse than that. You can have a situation like one Munguia got. You got a dude with a whole country that has yeah, they have other fighters right now, but not in the situation like him. A guy who knocked somebody out that Canelo could knock out. It said this dude Sawachi, he's trying to get his record back to undefeated after having a positive test. Well, after Munguia had a positive test. It's crazy, man. I'm talking about now, man. If you test positive in a fight, It's not like a regular fight where you just testing a positive against anybody. These is champions, guys on pound for pound. Like, yeah, it's a big deal. That's why I think now a lot of guys, man, it's a lot of stuff going on now already. There's people already moving up. It's a lot of fighters moving up actually right now. It's a lot of people getting caught on these tests. I think people are seeing guys get caught right now, and they're thinking, "Oh man, all these guys is using." No, all these guys been using. I ain't saying no specific names. I'm just saying all these guys really been using. That's the problem. They just getting caught right now because they getting tested. Yeah, they getting tested. It's no different from like if somebody had a job or something, and you know that they testing or something, or they gonna try to test this day, you're gonna try to avoid it any way you can. So whether that's quitting or not going in or something. And this happening in boxing too. Guys avoiding fights, not wanting to deal with Turkey, or guys retiring, or guys getting caught, or guys looking average. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the PED situation. I know it's a couple of guys getting caught every couple of months, but it's a lot of guys who not doing anything right now, and they starting to look horrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a lot of guys who they're starting to look real average. They're talking about a couple of fights and they're gonna hang it up, and it's a reason. And I think this is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons. I don't know if the other things that's going on in boxing, like the running rules and ring size, I don't know if that's a distraction or what. It's became a distraction. I don't know if that's done on purpose or whatever, but while the media and everybody is focusing on that, I'm telling you, it's a lot of guys, whether they know it or not, that do not want to test right now. And if they do, they go in the ring and test drug free, they're not gonna look the same. And a lot of people know it too. A lot of fans know it. I'm noticing that too. A lot of fans know it. They know guys going there dirty or trying to go in there dirty right now, and they okay with it right now. But what they don't realize is Turkey is not finna, because I heard people saying, "Yeah, man, Turkey." Um, as far as the Shiraz and everything else, but one thing I didn't, as far as like him, yeah, basically, using Shiraz is like one of his favorites or something like that. But I will say this: Turkey did have a fighter who was from Saudi Arabia that fought on a Crawford card, I want to say, and he fought somebody who was on PEDs, And if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to just say anything, but I'm gonna take a huge guess, and I'm gonna say that was the first fighter that was positive on a turkey card, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go double check real quick. But it was a guy, the Saudi Arabian prospect. I think his name is Akil or something like that. I forgot what it is. Let me go look it up. But he ended up fighting somebody on the undercard, and I was like, oh, it's no name fight, but it was pretty good. And the guy who was fighting was like, how do I explain it? The guy was like a Jeff Horn or something, but he was less skilled than Jeff Horn. But he was taking a lot of shots and he was throwing some hard shots. And I'm like, man, this dude ain't that good, but he's like durable, throwing a lot of hard punches. I'm like, it wasn't too impressive, but if you was paying attention, you could notice a couple things. Like, man, looks insane a little bit. Man, come to find out, this dude was positive or something like that. Yeah, Ziad. What's his name? Michael Bullock. Let me look him up real quick. Yeah, so he was fighting the guy who was on Pez. This had to be the first guy, right? Ziad, I'm a youth. August 3rd, majority draw with Poland's Michael Bullock has been changed to a disqualification win in the Saudi Arabians' favor after banned substances were found in two separate samples from Bullock following VADA testing, according to the California State Athletic Commission. They learned that the first positive test was conducted July 23rd and is therefore defined as out of competition, with the second test coming on the day of the fight. So he tests positive a month before and on the day of the fight. The result of the first test was reported to the Athletic Commission on August 8th, with the results of the second test coming on August 15th. Okay. Yeah, but that's the first fight I heard that actually where a fighter was fighting a guy that was had a positive test on the turkey card. And it happened to be a guy who was Saudi Arabian. So technically, if we're just being factual, technically the first person that was cheated or fought a guy on PEDs, especially after the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight, was a Saudi Arabian fighter. It was a Saudi Arabian fighter. Ain't that crazy? So if anybody is technically looking into things more than anybody, trust me. I don't know everything, bro. I'm just telling you, I'm learning this like everybody else. I just Thought about this probably a day or two ago. But Turkey, knowing this Saudi Arabian fighter got cheated on his card, he's looking into everything because you got to realize guys have been getting caught one by one by one on every card since then. Almost every card, close to it. It's been a lot of weird stuff too. Guys been pulling out of cars, moving. I think that could be for other reasons, but and injuries are real. Stuff starting to happen a little bit faster, but yeah, but the first guy, and I understand what people saying as far as the criticism for Turkey. Everything I heard as far as people criticizing Turkey, I haven't heard anything crazy, but I heard a couple of things crazy, but not anything this week crazy. Most of the stuff people said makes sense, even if I don't agree with it. It definitely makes sense. Ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I agree with it or not. They make a lot of sense. But I will say this: I'm telling you, him knowing that he had a Saudi Arabian fighter on the card get cheated, he's looking into this stuff. Matter of fact, I want to know when this guy fought again. Because everybody said, man, he's watching out for his people. I want to see how much he's watching. He's watching out for his people with this fight with the guy. Okay, 'cause he fought on Latino night. I had missed that card. I don't know what I was doing. He fought on Latino night in November, and he fought again on the Vitabev card. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking of a kill. Okay, it wasn't a kill. Yeah, I'm a youth. He's a Turkey out of sheep fighter. I guess a Riyadh fighter. But yeah, he was the first guy cheated. That's the craziest part. He was the first one cheated. So yeah, it's a lot of trust me. It's gonna be a lot of guys. You know how like those lights come on when guys are walking through the dark? They try to see who's trespassing. It's a lot of that going on in boxing right now. They finna find out who really taking stuff. Because now you gotta realize this. Turkey got fighters from his country that's in boxing, right? He just had a guy who just got cheated recently. So in order for them guys to even compete or be able to compete, they gotta get everybody who dirty out the sport. That's what people gotta realize. That's one thing people gotta realize. Even though I understand what everybody's saying though, as far as, but if he is just about his people, you understand what I'm saying? Like that point would have been enforced all the way to the max already. Because when I seen that, I was like, oh, I wonder if Turkey gonna start, give a speech about this PED stuff. But he didn't. I'm like, oh man, what are he doing? But I'm just watching certain things. I'm like, oh, okay. Is he out here talking about it like running rule stuff? Nah. But from what I've seen, it's a lot of action going on. Way more than what I've ever seen in my life. Way more. Like this, like your fight, that fight he had with Rodriguez, they would have just let that fight go on as far as the results. You would have never found out that he got cheated back in the day. If we're being honest. When I was growing up, if a guy got beat up like that, you wouldn't have found out that he got cheated. Let's just be real. So now you starting to find out who really can fight clean. Like now you got to start your career off clean, and you can't match make. Like it's a lot of, I don't want to say rights being taken away, but whatever the fighters need as far, because you gotta give a little to get a little. So they want the money, but you gotta give away the freedom of picking your own fights to a certain extent. You gotta be willing to play ball. So, and that's what we seeing right now. Like guys got no choice; they gotta play ball. They have to. They got no choice. I'm talking about this right now. Turkey is just kind of just messing around right now, as far as the fights he's lining up. This is like the first year he's really started putting together fights he wants to put together, and look what he's putting together. He already has Canelo versus Crawford. So really, the next couple of fights he does next year, is probably gonna change boxing, because I think that's overlooked a lot right now. For Turkey to have this Crawford and Canelo fight already done in 2025, he's already thinking of fights he's gonna do in 2026. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of cleaning up being done the rest of this year. That's why you got a lot of guys taking their time going over there where he at. Telling you, it's a lot of stuff going on right now. Certain people don't want to fight certain guys still. Um, the only person I feel like that's doing that right now, but he's not a dirty fighter, because I don't think he's dirty. I don't think Tiafimo dirty, even though he went over there with Eddy Reynoso. He ain't punching like that to be dirty. Uh, yeah, I don't think he's a dirty fighter. Yeah, he ain't even punching like that. The way the way Rodriguez punching, it don't look human. It just don't. Even when I seen the fight, I was like, man, this looks unreal. Yeah, it's gonna catch up to him. But the fact that he found out about the test recently, that's gonna hurt, man. That's definitely gonna hurt. I heard a promoter say recently, I don't know who his name is. I don't think I wanted to remember anyways. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But he said this online, if you can't find it. He says that they don't release the drug test early because they don't want to sabotage the fight. You know, the fight already got made. You'll lose money like that. Allegedly. That's what he said. He said they'll lose money doing that if they sat up here and told people about the fight early and the drug test before the fight happened. Tell them about the fight drug test early before the fight happened, and then the fight won't happen. You got investors and everybody else. When I seen the table of investors they had, I was like, yeah, it'll be hard to cancel a fight. You got like 12 guys that put their money in or whatever that's going on. Yeah, they're not finna just call off everything because of a certain situation. When you look at it that way, it makes sense as far as business. As far as the sport, it definitely don't make sense. Because once you so you gonna sabotage one fight on one fighter and one of your best, you gonna sabotage one of your best for a journeyman coming in dirty? Or not even a journeyman, but a guy who's not gonna do anything, don't sell tickets. That's where I'm kind of looking at things. I'm like, nah, y'all tripping. That's crackhead behavior. That stuff crackheads do. I'm just trying to get through the night, so nah, that's crackhead stuff. You got a dude that can get you money for 10 fights, and you worried about one fight, you trying to crash out. That's the definition of crashing out. So yeah, a lot of promoters is crashing out on one fight with the testing going on. Then I feel like a lot of these people, not only promoters but all around, I feel like they like the advantage in boxing of having guys dirty. Because when it happens, I don't know, it's a lot of good energy behind it. It's not really like they okay with it. I'm talking about all around. It's really celebrated. And then it's a lot of tests through VADA right now. Because a lot of these fight cards is not just um and Riyadh or anything like that, but Turkey is still involved with a lot of promotional teams. It's a lot of people that's coming into the zone and everywhere else. So a lot of people testing through VADA. I didn't even know that Rodriguez and Yafai tested with VADA. So it's a lot of these dirty tests popping up. And I definitely think that Turkey got his hand in this. Because a couple of years ago, it wasn't people getting popped with tests like this, especially last year. Yeah, that Ryan situation happened because Devin had him sign up for because it didn't happen before. But yeah, guys weren't signing up for VADA like that. They are now. But then I'm hearing fans complaining about VADA like, man, what they said, Victor Connie and all this other stuff, bruh. Victor, so Victor Connie, they say Victor Connie is dirty, right? So he went to jail for drugs and sports. That's what everybody say. So everybody need to go to jail for drugs for sports then. If everybody feel like Victor Connie going to jail for drugs in sports was the right thing, then everybody needs to go then. These other guys need to go as well. Why everybody feel like Victor Connie, he's the only one that should have went to jail for drugs and sports? But these other guys, they don't feel like that about. I hate that people even know this dude's name at this point. They act like he the only dirty guy. Man, you know how many dirty guys in sports? You know how many Victor Cunnies it is in sports? They got Victor Cunnies in UFC. Yeah, man, that's all. That happens all over the place. But yeah, they talking about Vada running around catching guys that's on PEDs. And nobody mad at the guys who taking PEDs though. That's why I said, man, Ryan Garcia exposed these dudes. If that would have never happened, I don't even think none of this stuff be going on right now. What is this? Yeah, because people talking about snack and everything else, but I don't even think they even mad about guys using PEDs, man. Yeah, it's definitely making stuff weird out here. Because there's a lot of boxers out here who've been saying these guys been cheating, but people look at them like they lying, man. Telling you. Ryan last year getting that whole situation going as far as it did, it shouldn't have lasted 2 days. That situation should have been shut down after 2 days. But the good thing is it's gonna shine a lot of spotlight on a lot of people. It's gonna shine a big spotlight on a lot of people. Because what's gonna happen is guys is gonna get caught. They're gonna be positive. Everybody who said PEDs don't matter, they're gonna find out how much they really matter. That's gonna be the worst thing everybody ever said in their life. They're gonna find out how much that really matters. These dudes gonna come back off of this stuff and look so trash. A lot of them gonna hang it up. They're gonna have to. They're gonna lose a lot of fights like that. Probably haven't fought clean in years. Wouldn't even be motivated to go lose weight. I'm telling you, it's corners being cut all around. Dudes is cutting corners, especially when it comes to losing weight. I heard people say last year, "Oh man, they using that to lose weight." That's even worse. If that was happening, I know it's not happening, but that would be even worse because I mean it is happening, but that's not the main reason though. Like dudes is faster and stronger on some of this stuff. Yeah, they making weight, but they faster and stronger though. They try to make that argument with Ryan. Oh yeah, he's used to make weight, bro. He's faster and stronger. If you look at his last fight, he wasn't that fast or strong. They like, oh, he's always fast like that. No, not like he was before. He was faster than he usually is. Like dude punches will get in there in a split second. And what I would say is, it's not gonna be the popular opinion, but it is what it is on that. I'm never gonna say anything popular. But none of these other promoters, since I've been growing up, none of these other promoters have been catching fighters with positive tests like this. None of them. You can name anybody. All of us got criticism about Turkey. It is what it is. He's putting on better fights. That's what I care about the most. You know what I'm saying? If I can't get my way in boxing, I just want to see great fights. Before, we wasn't getting great fights anyways. So whatever was going on the last 10 years, we haven't been getting great fights like that anyways. So I'm cool with whatever's going on right now. But these promoters ain't been catching no guys who've been dirty. Then when they have, they act like some of these people be lying when they say some of these guys is dirty. So I hear a lot of people saying, yeah, as far as the criticism of what Turkey has going on. But man, just find me another promoter who can help clean up this sport as far as this PED usage, the way it's getting cleaned up right now, and then I'll agree with them. But it don't seem like that's important to a lot of people. So nah, they can have that, bro. I ain't even paying attention to what they talking about no more. But the running rule and the small rings, that's what's important. That's why Turkey is sitting around here tweeting about it, got everybody attention about it. Because I've been seeing, because people been talking about it for what? Ever since last year, and then this year, and then after the Ryan and Rolly fight, and then the Skull and the Haney Ramirez fight. And now that Turkey is kind of discussing it, I'm telling you, it's a it's a casual conversation. He knows it's a casual conversation. And a lot of and the crazy part is, it's a lot of people that's gonna say I'm a diehard fan, but all they gonna talk about from now until this weekend is the ring size and everything else. Not to say people who just talking about that as casuals. I'm talking about, y'all know what I mean, the casuals who are casuals. They gonna watch the whole event to see what the ring size is. That's what I'm saying. They're not watching the fight to watch the fight. That's why Turkey like, man, let's make sure we have the people who just gonna tune in to see the ring size. Let's make sure we have them pay $60 to tune in. If somebody's gonna pay $60 to see the ring size, so be it. And it's a lot of weirdos. Come on, man. I'm pretty sure Turkey can get at least 60,000 out of some of these fans who want to see a small ring or whatever it is. But yeah, these are just narratives that they're getting pushed regardless, whether he says it or not. I'm not gonna lie to you. Whether he says them or not, they're still getting pushed. Just like the running guys saying guys is running. Now the Tom and Jerry stuff, a lot of this stuff is just regurgitated, bro. Like everybody say the same stuff. I don't look at him no different than a fan. Like Rue was saying, he just billionaire casual. It's a billionaire casual, to be honest with you. But he knows how to talk to casuals. You know what I'm saying? like, if he knows how to talk to casuals better than me. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about no ring size, no Tom and Jerry's, and no. But he knows how to do it. So that's why I say he's the man for the job when it comes to stuff like that. But what I like the most is these guys are testing right now. They're definitely testing. And I had to step back and really evaluate the situation. I said, hold on, man. Turkey, it was a fighter from his country that got caught first. I mean, that got cheated first. So I think it's a lot of things that's going to get cleaned up. And ever since that situation, I mean, everybody has gotten caught. Even this guy, Katiev, who failed a test in an amateur situation. I think it was an exhibition. It was over a year ago, but still, they finding everything. I know it's the week of the fight, but still found it and put the news out. Well, it's coming out now. Yeah, it's coming out now. Yeah, I don't know, man. These commissions, from what I'm seeing, they dragging their feet on a lot of these tests, but also, man, a lot of these people want to see these events go through. And the guy who was cheated, and I'm gonna go over this real quick because I want to. The guy who was cheated on the from Saudi on that Crawford card, they say he was represented by Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority. First foray into staging boxing in America. So yeah, that was the first bout in that was the first fight in America for Turkey Al Sheikh on this card with a Saudi Arabian fighter. And the guy fought a guy on PEDs. So yeah, I know what time it is. Trust me. By next year, you ain't gonna have no double offenders on Turkey card. I think right now guys getting caught is gonna make it worse more than anything. Because now we're starting to see guys get tested that's not even on Riyadh season cards. So now the message is being sent around. A lot of people not talking about that, but they are testing guys who are not on Riyadh season cards. It doesn't have to be a card that's in Saudi Arabia. It doesn't have to be one that Turkey is directly doing. It doesn't have to be a ring card. Guys are getting tested now. So you might not even make it to next year, or even to the another car, or even a Riyadh season car to begin with. Because people do have to realize Turkey still has business ventures with Dana White, and then he's doing a tournament right now. And also, I seen the fighters from. I know these are like a lot of these guys are kids, but I seen the fighters from the junior Olympics or the nationals, junior nationals, or in the amateurs for the nationals. Man, they got probably better talent in those groups than they do in the groups we have right now in boxing. That was probably the first time I've seen in boxing where I couldn't find anybody who I thought was a terrible fighter. So yeah, I think the group that comes out at 20, I guess they'll be in their prime or entering their prime at 20, 35. Yeah, they're gonna be serious. Yeah, the group that comes out in 10 years. So yeah, by that time, Turkey gonna already have things cleaned up. But yeah, even right now, over there in the UK, they got, I forgot what board is doing. I think it's the British board, whoever's doing it. But they suspending guys like 8 years over there. Guys are getting suspended 8 years. That's why a lot of these guys trying to fight it, like Conor Ben, and when they had Conor Ben and Dillian White situation. That's why they was fighting it so hard, man. A lot of guys getting suspended 8 years. Yeah, you got a lot of situations. And what I've seen is people say, as far as the trainers, but these promoters responsible too. These your fighters. These are definitely your fighters. Because I know one thing: if you're Turkey, you got some fighters that sign to you, and you know that other guys have fighters, but they keep having dirty fighters. You're not gonna want to put a fight together with them. That's the only way. Like at this point right now, I'm trying to find a reason to see where Turkey is using favoritism at, but with this Saudi Arabian guy, I don't know. I can't really see nothing yet. I mean, he got cheated and was back in the ring. Yeah, overturning a fight from a no contest is extremely rare. They said it's in certain cases. But if you look at the fight, though, that is true. But if you look at that fight, uh, this dude would have won that fight, but this guy was jacked up on something. Somebody said they never seen a. Hey, look, this was somebody said. They said I don't recall ever happening that a fighter was given a win because their opponent failed a test. But the one time it happens, it's on the first Saudi card in the U.S. and the decision is in favor of a Saudi fighter. That's a certain way to look at things, but I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a dumb way to look at things because the fight was a draw. It wasn't like it was a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a majority draw. So it was already a close fight. So that's not even an argument. But yeah, we got Rodriguez who just found out was suspended today. That's what he said. So I guess Eddie Reynoso doesn't even know. So we'll get word from him. I guess they're gonna try to put a microphone in his face over the next couple of weeks if they can find him. I don't know if he got any kind of fighters coming up for these next couple of weeks for any kind of fights. But they asked him about the Munguia situation recently, and hey, basically what Eddie Reynoso saying right now, bro, he don't do nothing for none of these guys. He said these guys got their own people. He don't give nobody nothing. Uh, he ain't responsible for none of this stuff these guys is taking. You know, he pulling a Nino Brown basically. And he was talking about Munguia too, you know. He's like, yeah, we trust Munguia. You know, we trust Munguia as far Anyone else, so they messed up though. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. They're like, Eddie, so what was your role in the Munguia situation? You know, as far as the what he was taking. Eddie like, yeah, we trust Munguia, man. He's like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. So yeah, that's basically what his stance is. I ain't gotta really find out. We definitely know what his stance is. Trying to figure out if this dude Katiev is fighting this weekend. Haven't heard anything. Haven't heard anything about him not fighting, so should be going through with it. Oh, they had the International Testing Agency. Dang. It's been over a year, but yeah, guys getting tested right now. But this guy Katiev fighting a test. He's been out what? He's supposed to be suspended 2 years. It said 2027. What? I thought that was 2026. Oh, so he won't start his test until June 2025. Okay, which is weird, but yeah, yeah, that's wild. Yeah, the way they're reporting this is insane, man. I can't even go any further with this. I understand what they're saying, but the words are so all over the place. They said this man might be he gonna start his suspension after a fight. So after he fights Morrell, he gonna start his suspension. His suspension gonna be from what June 2025 to June 2027. I guess he said if I'm gonna take my last fight, it's gonna be a home run. I guess he said before I do the jail bid, I'm gonna do 2 years, and then I'm fighting Morrell, then I'm gonna do these hard 2 years. Yeah, I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. Never. This is something different. It's a lot of madness going on, but I done seen crazier things the last few years. I done seen some crazy stuff, especially the last 2 or 3 years. The way they've been setting up fights. When they had Ngannou fighting, and then they had Usyk waiting to fight Tyson Fury, that's when I was like, "Hey man, this is getting crazy." So you got Usyk waiting on Fury to fight an MMA guy, and that was a turkey situation. But I gotta give Turkey credit though. I didn't think Ngannou was going out there doing that. Yeah, I didn't think Ngannou was gonna go out there and do that, man. That man almost ruined the Usyk fight. He almost ruined the Usyk fight, man. The only thing I'm upset about, as far as with Turkey, it's a few things really, but the Ngannou rematch. I felt like with him having Tyson Fury come back right now, man, Ngannou should have got his rematch, man. You should have just left the man alone. I know he lost to Anthony Joshua, but man, they should just left him alone. He was gonna fight Wilder anyway. Yeah, this man already fought Usyk. They was already talking about a rematch, but man, they haven't said anything. He said, let me see something. Man, dudes should be dudes be starting crazy rumors, man, in boxing. Somebody told me something they heard Fury's gonna get in the cage with Ngannou. Yeah, that's crazy, man. He fought him in 2023. Yeah, they say he earned a rematch, but that fight would have sold a lot, man. That's a fight they need to revisit. If they want to think about money, that fight would have made a lot of money. For Tyson Fury to make a return fight, if I was him, I would have fought Ngannou. Yeah, I would have fought Ngannou if I was Fury. But yeah, those are the type of fights that if I'm Turkey, you need to be putting pressure on him. He signed a whole contract to fight in Ghana, but never stepped in the ring. A rematch. Yeah, that's not the way things are supposed to go. Definitely not the way things are going. Yeah, if him and Joshua don't fight each other soon, it's gonna be a waste. I feel like the energy on that is going away. I seen Turkey say something about uh Usyk and another potential fight with him and Fury, but it's becoming too much now. You got some guys now coming out saying that those guys will never beat them. Then you got Dubois, who has to show up. Got a lot of pressure on him. Yeah, he got a lot of pressure on him right now. It's almost like he got to finish the job that Fury and Joshua couldn't finish. So yeah, that's a lot of pressure when you really look at it. Yeah, we'll talk more about those fights coming up soon. It's gonna be a good month of boxing though. But yeah, I can't believe this guy just found out that he failed the test. Like, man, I ain't even know I failed the test. I found it online. But I'm a clean fighter. It's crazy what's going on in boxing. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. Be back on tomorrow. Well, later on today.